In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end.
The day is August 22nd, 2025, and a young lady by the name of Iryna Zarynska, a Ukrainian refugee, was just getting off work. She was going home and she decided to take the Charlotte Light Rail train station near the East-West Boulevard station. She saw an open seat and she sat down. Now, this is interesting because it wasn't very many white people on the train with her. Everybody around her, and even the guy behind her, was black. And speaking of the guy behind her, at first, nothing happened. Until it did happen. We all know the story of what happened next. Over 7 minutes, Iryna Zarynska bled to death after being fatally stabbed. Now, the people that were there on the left, many of those black Americans, most of them did not help her. In fact, as she was bleeding out, some people just walked away and got off the train as if nothing happened. And this is causing a lot of fear, especially amongst white Americans who are pretty much upset at the fact that black fatigue is back again. It's gotten so bad, even Donald Trump is talking about it.
She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors.
Now listen to the wordplay that Donald Trump is using. He doesn't want to be racist, but we can understand what he may be trying to imply here. That we have a problem with a certain sector of people who are causing all of these issues in America. And he's not the only person to say that.
Take a look at the black on white crimes, 385,000 in 2023. The white on black crimes, just under 118,000. You see the comparative numerical difference. But now here's what the media actually does. They did what our camera operator just began to do a moment ago. I'm going to step out of the way. I'm going to show you literally what the media does with the camera.
Now, what's interesting to me is that I'm starting to see a lot more whites be concerned with this. And even one guy did something very peculiar.
And brutally attacked, her life is taken, and nobody's talking about this. Where is the Ukrainian community? Where are you guys? Is anybody here from Ukraine upset that one of your own was taken?
This guy is calling out the Ukrainian community. Why are you guys not saying anything about this? Why is the news media not saying anything about this? Now, this happened August 22nd and is just now catching steam in the last week. Now, why is he saying this? And I want all the blacks to listen to this. Number one, she's a Ukrainian. Now, just like blacks, we are not the same as Africans or Caribbeans. So even though they're also black, we don't necessarily always identify with them. And that is very similar for white Americans. White Americans, typically, I know some may come from Germany and things like that, but you know, the Slavic places like Poland or Ukraine or Russia, those individuals are like different. It's like night and day. All right. It's almost like a black American trying to find some level of identity or common ground with a Maasai warrior from Kenya or Tanzania. But the reality is they know that she's white. All right. And they know that DeCarlos Brown attacked her because she was right. And he didn't care that she's from Ukraine. So what white people are noticing now is that, listen, even though she's from Ukraine, and I may not even support the fact that the country is giving money to Ukraine, we gotta support this lady because she's white. And what if that was me? What if that was us? Now, this is a difference how white people understand what's happening to them in comparisons to blacks. If this had been an African guy that had gotten beaten up or stabbed in the same way, you could have had some blacks that would have got involved with this. But then you would have had certain blacks saying, well, well, he ain't hashtag FBA, so it don't really matter. That's their business. Let they people take care of them. That's the difference. Whereas with white people, they understand the political play. If it's all white and if it's Ukrainian, it doesn't matter because that attack was meant for us. And that's the difference between blacks and whites. Whites have the same prejudices in other communities of whites that blacks do and how we're prejudiced against each other. But they're smart enough to understand a common threat. And so what you're going to see now, whites starting to do a little bit more fear mongering and actually look at, I've seen a lot of posts here, attacking blacks, okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not saying that this will happen, all right, or will occur. We all know that there's stories of whites beating up blacks and, you know, it doesn't get publicized and all of that stuff. And they don't, and Fox News will never put that up there. But we gotta also be cautious because white people are more emboldened than ever. In the last 20 years, whites are more confident in saying how they feel towards blacks. Whites are more confident in carrying out whatever they need to do against blacks. And whites have a president that will come to their defense. We got to understand, as much as Donald Trump can rock with Black America, Donald Trump is not rocking with Black America over white conservatives. It's not going to happen. He'll rock with Black America over white liberals, but to his base, 10 times out of 10, Donald Trump is going to rock with his base, okay? Hands down. He's in the mud with them. But despite all that, here's something that white conservatives are trying to spin. Outside of the fact that, you know what, these blacks, we're tired of these blacks always attacking us, right? They're also trying to spin the narrative that blacks are insensitive to what happened to the white lady. In other words, not only did this black guy delete this white lady, but they don't even care about what happened to her. That's what they're trying to insinuate. But check this out.
I already knew that this country was when it comes to humanity, but seeing the video of the people that were sitting around the 23-year-old girl that was fucking stabbed to death by that man on the goddamn subway, seeing them do nothing, absolutely, and I don't want to hear they were in shock. I don't give a flying f***. Clearly she was hurt. She was bawling her eyes out, and they did nothing. One lady got up, walked the fuck away.
Here is a sister, okay, whose heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to the lady. The lady was crying, like she was dying, bleeding out, and she was bawling, and nobody helped her, right? If you look at the photo of what I'm showing in the background, nobody helped her, right? It wasn't until it was too late that somebody came and helped her. Yes, the blacks let her bleed out. We're gonna be honest, it's exactly what happened, all right? That lady wasn't bothering anybody, and at a certain point, we're gonna talk about humanity. If that was your daughter, if that was your mother, you would have been so mad that nobody helped her. I feel for her family. They are 100% right, okay? Nobody tried to help that lady, and in a case of humanity, it's wrong. We're gonna be real. That lady wasn't bothering nobody. I can see if she got on that train and she was calling out the N-words, not, she was minding her business, okay? But wait, there's more.
I done let this man out 14 times, and now this is his 15th crime. So yes, I do feel like this was a fail on the judicial system's end, because if someone is schizophrenic and they keep doing violent things, psych ward immediately. And you don't need to come out no time soon, unless you're on your medication. Even then, you need to stay there because you are a danger to society.
Now, here's another lady that's saying the same thing that many of us are saying. She's saying, listen, why was the guy allowed back on the street? He had 14 priors. This makes 15. And again, I'm starting to see a lot of these white conservatives, they're trying to spin the narrative as if, you know, black people just are going around and they're backing this guy. They're supporting this guy. And they're doing that. And I'm telling you why I believe they're doing that. They want an insurrection, or they want to incite violence on the black community. That's where this is going, okay? In my honest opinion. Because why would you sit back and lie? There's nobody in Black America that sat back and watched that attack that will sit back and say, oh yeah, she deserved that. You're a damn lie. Nobody wants to see that lady die like that. Not one person, okay? Because even if she is Ukrainian, everybody knows that woman was defenseless. That woman was working. She had a job. She had just escaped Ukraine. Why would somebody think like that? Now that guy was dusty. That guy was insane. We also understand that. But stop putting it on Black America that we okay with that. No, we not. Nobody's okay with that. Humanity is still humanity, and somebody losing their damn life for no reason, nothing is okay with that. Nothing is nice about that. Period. Tell me where that works. And these white people, some of these folks here, I'm noticing they trying to spin this narrative. And I'm telling you, like, what they're trying to do, because I'm just gonna be honest with you, right? White people in their minds, and I'm gonna say something, and I hope y'all don't get mad at this. White people in their minds, we tired of blacks, okay? That's how some of them feel. They won't say it, but that's how they feel, okay? Listen, yeah, we understand slavery was wrong, but what have we done? We've done everything we can to help them, and you know what? They're not developing, they're not safe to be around. So we've had it up to here. I've had it up to here with the fact that I can't say whatever I want to say. I've had it up to here that I gotta bite my tongue when talking about blacks. I've had it up to here. Okay? I've had it up to here. So when they see something like this, for some of them, they feel like, nah, we need to go ahead and clap back. And clapping back is whatever you think it might be. And there's going to come a time where people are going to be more aggressive about how they feel about blacks. And black people need to understand that that's the positioning that they're going with. They're going to go with that on the media. They're going to go with that in the Republican Party. They're going to go with that with a lot of independents. People want to tell like it is and all that. Now, not only this, remember what we saw with the all-white communities. They were getting supported by whites, okay? It didn't matter that the guy was in the Korn movies before. Didn't matter. They want many of them, not all, to be separate from you and me, okay? And so that anger, that resentment towards blacks, it is growing, all right? And in their mind, they tired of us. Now, here's the issue with that, because they own so much stuff, okay? They own so much corporations. Now, we've already known about redlining and all of this and keeping blacks out of jobs. They still doing it. That is going to get worse. We already see what's happening with black unemployment, black women. Black men are also joining in that too. So they're going to do a lot more gatekeeping right now. It's going to get worse. Black people need to understand what that is and understand how they talking. Go look on X, okay? Go look on X. They really, really talking crazy. And don't think that it's just talk. It's not just talk. These people, in my honest opinion, are very, very serious. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, L. Jackson, back at it again. The episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. Heard the bell. We out.